Hello, dear listeners. Here is Andre Branco, and you are on the channel Souls Like. Today I bring you a story that will touch deep in your heart. Get ready for a narrative that talks about love, sacrifice and the choices that define who we really are. Who would say Anna Sovelieva, an independent woman focused on her career, would once have her life completely transformed by becoming full-time caregiver? And not of anyone, but of the father himself, with whom he always maintained a distant and silent relationship. Georgi Mikhailovich, a respected and work engineer, never had time for her daughter. Among industrial plants, service trips and endless projects, family dinners and school presentations simply did not fit in their crowded schedule. His mother, Marina Arkadievna, was the complete opposite. Extroverted, passionate about life and thirsty for adventures, dreamed of a brilliant career, travel around the world and a glamour-filled existence. But fate arrested her in a provincial town, where her husband built factories as she drowned in boredom. To escape from that domestic arrest, Marina plunged headlong into social life, between cocktails and passing cases. Until, at the age of 15, Anna woke up one day and found that her mother had disappeared, first to Moscow, then to Europe, leaving behind only one cold note: "I deserve something bigger." The divorce was fast, almost bureaucratic. Marina gave up her daughter and the goods without blinking. His only demand was freedom. Contacts with Anna were reduced to sporadic postcards and short connections, in which her mother spoke enthusiastically about her new life in Berlin, the rich German husband, the art exhibitions she attended. I never wondered how the daughter was. Never showed real interest. Anna moved on. He graduated in economics, arranged a stable job as an accountant in a median company and gradually rebuilt his relationship with his father. Only when Georgi retired that he seems to have noticed that he had a smart daughter, with whom he was worth talking. But life, ironic, had other plans. A fulminant stroke hit him on the market path. The diagnosis was relentless: extensive lesions, partial paralysis, difficulty speaking. Without hesitation, Anna took responsibility. He took him to his 2-bedroom apartment, hired the best doctors he could afford, reorganized his professional life to work remotely and dedicate himself fully to his father's care. The next 3 years were an exhaustive marathon of physiotherapy sessions, injections, massages, and nights in clear. He learned to turn his father's body without pain, to prepare special meals, to decipher his interspersed words. He did everything alone, resorting rarely to the help of professional caregivers. During this period, father and daughter re-edited themselves. Anna Lear for him, they watched old movies together, and Georgi, with effort, shared stories of her childhood, her work, the day she met Marina. Sometimes tears ran down his face when the frustration of not being able to move. Anna never complained, though, locked in the bathroom, cried in silence until she no longer had strength. Marina. Not even a phone call. Anna even warned her about her father's disease, but the answer was a dry message: "I am sorry, but I can't come. I'm busy." Georgi passed away on a serene morning from early spring as Anna held her hand. For a long time, she did not realize that he had stopped breathing. He felt as if a part of herself had left with him. The wake was simple. Some former colleagues of the father, neighbors, and 2 friends of Anna's school were attended. She received the condolences with stoicism, without thanking for the flowers or words of comfort. 3 days later, the phone rang. On the other side, a voice that, if 2 decades could not be heard, Marina Arkadievna announced her arrival. "I need to resolve estate issues," he said, with no room for replicas. When it arrived, it was like a hurricane of expensive perfumes and flashy accessories. At 62, he looked younger than many women in half his age. He entered the apartment with a grantee, examining everything with disdain. "My God, how did he live like this?" he commented, looking around with disgust. "And you allowed you to reach that point. He had a good retirement if I'm not mistaken." Anna watched in silence as her mother turned drawers, opened cabinets, and flipped into papers as if she sought a hidden treasure. "What are you looking for, mother?" he asked finally. "Documents, of course. Extracts, contracts, all related to his goods. Georgi has always been economical." "I'm sure he left something," said Marina, with the coldness of those who talk about a stranger. All the documents are with me, said Anna, Serena. But you divorced him for almost 20 years. What right do you have about your inheritance? Marina straightened her back, adjusting the necklace. I was married to him for 15 years. He owes me all those lost years in this hole. Besides, you don't even know what to do with it all. Anna shook her head. This is not how it works. There is the law. Let the law be damned. Marina exploded. I know he had accounts, investments. I followed his career from afar. He won well with his projects. You won't fool me. You never even asked how he was, Anna murmured, the tremendous voice of containment. Didn't call when he got sick. Marina pushed the observation with a gesture, as if she was amazed and uncomfortable fly. I was busy. I have my life. But now I'm here. 3 days after the funeral, Anna's patience has run out. 3 years, said Marina, her eyes half-circled, suspicious. 3 years living with him, with access to everything. And now you want to make me believe there is nothing left. Anna felt anger grow within her, deaf and inevitable. Do you have the idea of the cost of such a treatment? Remedies, physiotherapy, special food. Ah, stop this holiness theater, interrupted Marina, dramatic. Where's his account money? I wasn't born yesterday, Anna. I was always too smart for your tricks. Those words hurt more than anything. Every nightless nights, the swallowed tears, the despair of recent years have gushed at once. Without saying anything, Anna got up, went to the desk and took a thick paste, throwing her on the table. Here it is. Everything. Every real spent, every voucher. Marina snapped the folder eagerly, flipping through the papers, pharmacy receipts, clinical contracts, masseur's notes and nurses. Dates, values, stamps. What is this? He asked confused. Where's the house documents? Where are the investment extracts? The house was functional, explained Anna, the firm voice like steel. After he retired, it was necessary to buy it or vacate it. There was no money. In the last 3 years, he lived here with me. Retirement has been all for medicines. My economies, for rehabilitation. The investment he had been pulled before the illness to pay surgery. Marina continued to flip her pages until she threw the frustrated folder. I don't believe it. It can't be that nothing has left anything. And what should have left? Anna came back, the fury finally overflowing. While you lived your glamorous life in Berlin, he aged here, alone, until I need me. And I was here. Always. While you strolled through art galleries with your German, I washed our father's paralyzed body. While you couldn't find 5 minutes for a call, I learned to prepare food for someone who couldn't swallow. Marina retreated a step, clearly not waiting so much explosion. You don't dare talk to me like that. I'm yours. Mother. Mother. Anna released a bitter laugh. Mothers do not abandon their children in search of a better life. Mothers do not appear just to complain inheritance, ignoring the agony of the man who once sworn to love. You are not my mother. You are only Marina Arkadievna, a stranger who has lived with us for a long time. Marina opened her mouth to protest, how do you dare? But Anna didn't give her a chance. Do you know what's left of him? He opened the desk drawer and took a simple wooden box. Here are your clock, which you won at the factory. The veteran badge. And this. He placed a yellowish envelope on the table. A picture of the 3 of us. He kept her like a treasure, even if for you clearly meant nothing. And this. The envelope hit the wood with a dry sound. A letter. To you. He dictated her a month before he died. I wrote down word for word, even when the sentences were lost between coughs and tears. Marina faced the envelope as if it were a snake about to bite. I won't read that, he said, but his fingers betrayed pride, shaking as he extended his hand. Read, said Anna, low, relentless. And then go away. There's nothing more to you here. With a challenging gesture, Marina tore the envelope. As the eyes roamed the lines, his face broke. The color disappeared from the cheeks, his lips trembled. The letter was short. Georgie wrote that he had forgiven her for a long time. Who understood her search for happiness and perhaps she had found her. Who was grateful for Anna, her only true treasure. who wanted peace to her, without reports, without accusations, without bitterness. Only forgiveness. Marina sank in the chair. The paper slipped from his fingers. He didn't hate me, he whispered, as if the idea were impossible to assimilate. No, Anna shook her head. He was above that. He closed his eyes for a moment, gathering strength. Now I ask you to go. I need to get his things. It's not many. Anna, wait. Marina tried, insecure, a gesture of reconciliation. Maybe we could dash. No. The word fell like a tombstone. 20 years ago, maybe. 3 years ago, who knows? Now. No. Anna opened the front door, a silent invitation to leave. Goodbye, Marina Arkadievna. Marina got up, adjusted her hair with a mechanical gesture, took the bag. At the door, he turned, opened his mouth as if to say something, but gave up. He left without looking back. Anna closed the door and slipped down the wall to the floor, hugging her knees. Only then, when no one could see her, did you allow tears to come. I cry. That was relief, exhaustion, the weight of years finally detaching. 5 years have passed since that day. Marina Arkadievna disappeared from Anna's life as abruptly as she had returned. There were no more meetings, no phone calls. Anna's life, however, took another course. After his father's death, it was as if he woke up from a long sleep. He returned to work, reconnected with old friends, began to practice yoga. In a bookstore, he met Dmitri, a history teacher, a quiet, solid man who reminded him of his father in his youth. A year later, they got married. Simple ceremony, just close friends, without ostentation. Another year, and Mikhail was born, baptized in honor of his grandfather. A small, funny boy with a curious look that sometimes made Anna see her father's reflection. One morning as he feeded his son, the doorbell rang. A delivery man followed the door with a bouquet of white lilies, Georgy Mikhailovica's favorite flowers. Next to them, a note. You were right. Forgive me. M. Anna watched the flowers for a long time, then cared for them in a vase and kept the paper in the same wooden box where her father's belongings rested. At night, when Dmitri arrived at work and Mikhail was already sleeping, she told her husband the whole story, without omissions. The childhood without affection, the difficult years taking care of the father, the final, brutal scene. And what? And are you going to do? Dmitri asked, after listening to her in silence. Anna looked out the window, to the starry sky. I don't know. Maybe one day I call her. Maybe not. He paused. But I don't keep any more. These 3 years with him taught me one thing. Sometimes forgiving is not a gift we give to others. That's what we give ourselves. Dmitri approached, wrapped his shoulders with his arms. You're amazing, he murmured. Your father would be proud. Anna smiled, still lost in the stars. Somewhere she believed, he watched her. And approved. In Berlin, in a luxurious apartment overlooking the park, an elderly woman followed with her fingers the faded image of a photo, young parents and a girl in her hair, all smiling. Marina caressed her daughter's face and cried softly. Perhaps one day they met again. Maybe Mikhail knew he had a grandmother. Perhaps wounds healed to the point that they no longer hurt. Or maybe not. But Georgy Mikhailovica's belongings, the clock, the badge, the photograph remained stored in the wooden box. A reminder that the true value is not in bank accounts or properties, but in the love that persists, even when everything else goes.